Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and in the shower there's a dead body wearing my clothes. Anyway, I am Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. I'm back with more, Zero Escape, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, and we are finally on the actual end route, which is apparently like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, should have seen that one coming. 9, wait, 8, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yep, 9. 9 scenes long. We have gotten every other ending, mostly on accident, but here we are. We finally have everything we need to succeed. Technically. Alright. Audio works. Everything works. Continuing on.
Because of that, you thought that I was dead, correct?
Yes, we thought you were dead. He had quickly and neatly summarized the events of several hours.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, is the audio on, like, the dialogue? I feel like it should be a little quieter. Alright, there. Junpei nodded.
You also discovered a corpse in the captain's quarters, and Santa turned on you here, in this room.
Yes.
Do I have it straight?
Yes.
Well, the dead body in the captain's quarters is a surprise.
Oh, oh yeah, I guess Evan didn't know about
Sorry,
that.
there wasn't a good time to tell you.
Don't worry about it.
Well then, I've got a pretty decent
Question is,
idea
did
of
Clover
what
take
happened
the
while I
axe
was
this time?
indisposed. But it's still something of a mystery who did all this, and why.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because in all the other routes, it was always someone else, but I don't think Zero was responsible for some of this. Maybe for knocking Snake out and saving his life, but
The
like...
corpse in the shower room that looked like me.
Yeah, who's that?
And the corpse in the captain's quarters. Why were they killed in the way they were?
And by who?
Don't know.
No. Why would I?
The guy in the shower room. We don't know who he is, so let's just call him Mr. X.
X gonna get...
Anyway, this Mr. X is wearing Snake's clothes.
Hmm...
But you're wearing some kind of weird robes. That means someone took your clothes and put them on Mr. X.
And then also gave you some weird-ass, like...
We need to
Yeah.
figure out who that was.
I apologize, but I have no idea who might have done this to me. I only just now woke up. I was unconscious during all the events you just described to me. They must have undressed me and changed my clothes during that time.
Question is, also, why did they change him into this? I mean, it might have been the only thing on hand, but...
When were you knocked out?
When we split up to look for the red.
Where
That's
did
what I
they
thought.
get you? Do you remember?
It was a small room in one of the hallways on C deck.
What happened?
The same thing that happened to every one of us when we were abducted. A canister releasing some sort of
Huh.
gas was thrown into the room. I believe the gas
So
is
in that
some
case,
sort
it
of
probably was
incapacitating agent.
Zero. But,
Then that means it was...
Zero.
yeah.
Looks that way, huh?
There's nothing else I have to tell you. When I woke up, I was in this coffin.
I thought I was dead. Junpei crossed his arms and thought.
Why? Why did Zero make Mr. X wear Snake's clothes?
If this was a Capcom game, that would be a very strange sequence of...
How would that
Names,
benefit
but-
Zero? I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
I mean, I guess Zero might have known that Snake was going to be targeted by Ace and gone from there, but...
And I have no idea how I got the passcode for the coffin either.
Which is another weird thing, because he already had the code, like, in his pocket, he just didn't know
Truth
it.
had gone, truth had gone, and truth had gone. Where did those words come from? Why did I feel compelled to push the buttons on the bracelet after hearing them?
Seven had asked him about it while they waited for Clover to finish crying. He'd had no answer for him then, and he still didn't.
All I know is my fingers moved on their own. It was like I did it subconsciously. I don't get it. What the hell does any of it mean?
Yeah, well, it's like... That we know is the morphogenic field, so that's already kind of solved. But the question becomes, what is everything else? His mind was a maelstrom of mysteries, clues, theories, and more mysteries. He could barely think.
Also, Snake and Clover had been subjects in a similar experiment 9 years ago.
And so did Santa,
The
apparently.
ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things.
Stress.
First is
Yeah.
epiphany, and the other is danger. And
So what if Zero gathered them all on the ship to try and force them to, like, have an epiphany on whatever problem is ailing them?
Someone did actually die. A girl. Her name was...
But it couldn't have been Nona, because Nona apparently went back to her mother, which is Lotus.
And a girl had died during it. Morphogenetic field theory.
Morphogenetic field theory.
The 2 murders. Switching clothes. The nonary game.
Various nouns, yes. And whatever strange thing was happening to Junpei himself. The maelstrom in his head spat out words and ideas that disappeared back into it almost as soon as he grasped them. But as he struggled through them, Junpei began to realize something. There was something that tied all of them together. And the point connecting the dots...
Zero. He's the ringleader. The person who trapped 9 of us on this sinking ship.
Indeed, but then also we still don't exactly know why.
Zero should know everything. If we can uncover Zero's identity, all of our questions will be answered.
All we know is that the person with number 2 bracelet, aka Snake, is someone from another nonary game. And Ace assumed that meant he was Zero, but it is clearly not true. Who was Zero? Junpei had the beginnings of a theory. If he could only test it. Or perhaps...
At any rate, we'll have plenty of time to decipher the details later. For now, it is of utmost
Yeah, another thing I thought
importance
of,
that we escape.
what if Santa isn't actually trying to hurt anyone, he's just trying to make sure they all stay on the ship in order to solve the thing? And also, what if Santa is Zero? Distinct possibility. It would help with him trying to keep everyone here so they can solve whatever puzzle he's got.
Junpei, it was 4:30 the last time you checked the clock, yes? That means we have less than an hour. We must hurry.
Hey, how are we gonna get out of here?
Isn't that obvious? Through the other number 9 door.
Yep, 5 plus 4 plus 7 plus 2 equals 18.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is funny, because now that I think about it, we really didn't need the 9th guy at all. Without him, it's still the same. We can all
Snake, we can
escape.
open the door.
Don't tell me you hadn't figured that out.
In fact, yeah, that's the other thing I was thinking of. What if Santa specifically chose the combination he did because he knew that Snake would be alive and then be able to get them through the door as well? Because otherwise, he could have just taken a combination that would have allowed him to leave without anyone else being able to follow. As they sniped back and forth, Junpei glanced at Snake's left hand. He was wearing a bracelet with a 2 on
Come
it.
on, you gotta tell me these things.
I, assumed you'd figured it out.
Forget it. Let's just get going.
7 stomped off toward the smaller number 9 door. Clover, Snake, and Junpei followed. 7 quickly laid his hand on the red. An asterisk appeared on the screen. Junpei and the others followed suit and laid their hands on the scanner panel. Soon, there were 4 asterisks on the screen. Yep. Just push the lever. 7 glanced at them and then laid his hand on the lever of the red.
All right. You guys ready to go?
We have no other option.
Yes.
Yep.
Ah. Junpei paused for a moment.
Not yet.
What?
Huh?
Before we go in, I'd like to check something.
You want to check something?
Yeah, but before I do, 7, could you pull the lever?
Oh, right, he's gonna check the
I
Zero
wanna make
bracelet.
sure we can verify with just the 4 of us.
What do you mean? We don't need...
Just do it, alright? But if the door opens, don't go in yet, okay? Please, this is really important.
Yeah, he's gonna check the Zero bracelet, which we all know is 6.
I really need to check this, okay? Work with me here.
Junpei looked directly into 7's eyes. The older man looked back for a moment, then nodded.
Fine.
Animatic of a door opening. 7 pulled down the lever and the door and 7 pulled down on the lever and the door and 7 pulled down on the lever and door 9 creaked open. There. Then they waited. 6, 7, 8, 9. After 9 seconds, the door closed.
Alright, that means the 4 of us can go into door 9.
Yeah. And also,
We knew that already. It's obvious.
Obvious. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now, what happens if we add Zero's bracelet?
What?
Zero's bracelet?
played 666, now you play 999. Yeah, I just flip it upside down. This one's actually much easier to go through. Welcome to the stream,
Why don't
John.
you take it out, Clover?
Yeah, take it out, Clover. For a moment, Clover looked surprised, but she recovered quickly and stuck her tongue out at Junpei.
So you did know I had it.
Well, yeah, I know you're a little
I picked it up
kleptomaniac.
because I thought it might be useful sometime.
You were correct. You reached into one of the pockets of her voluminous jacket and produced a bracelet. Junpei took it from her and turned to 7. You played the Brain Blast mode in Rivals? I actually haven't, but that does sound pretty fun. I haven't been keeping up with Rivals nearly as much as I should have been. Just cause like, I don't know, I like Rivals a lot, but I feel like I need to take a little bit of a break from it. Like, I feel like I enjoy games like that in Fortnite more when I'm not, like, going through a battle pass, and I can just kind of, like, show up whenever I want. Hey, Lawbits, welcome to the stream. I'm doing fine. We are currently trying to figure out the way to leave the ship, oddly enough. But we're also testing the Zero bracelet, which we all know is a 6 at this point. So,
If you
Yeah.
look at it, you can see it's got a 0 on the face.
yeah.
Just to make this a little easier to talk about, I'm gonna call the guy we found dead in the captain's quarters, Cap. Then
No
I
Cap.
should be able to open door 9 with just me, Clover, and his bracelet.
5 plus 4 plus
So the
0
big
equals
question
9.
is, if Cap is the mastermind of this game, would he really put one of these bracelets on?
I haven't bought any of the battle passes. I think you get enough from the free version. That's true, you do. I mostly just got it because I really like. I guess I just wanted more of a reason to do things, which I realize sounds kind of stupid because the only reason I need is that like I want to play the game. But like, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have something to work towards.
Anyway,
You know.
Let's just give it a
Plus,
shot.
I like that the Wolverine skin in it
Give me your
was
hand.
like, it was cool. That's about it. That's my only thought process there. Also had an Iron Man skin. I like Iron Man, so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the captain's bracelet.
Now the next battle pass I get, if it has like a Blade skin in it whenever they add Blade to the game, that we'll see.
And pull the lever.
However, the door didn't open. The red's display read error,
I knew it. Now, what does this tell us?
not actually
The
0.
bracelet has to be on your wrist in order for it to work?
No, that's impossible. Did you see how the panel showed a 3rd asterisk when I scanned Cap's bracelet? Whether or not it's on your wrist doesn't matter. All you have to do is put the bracelet near the panel for it to register.
7 waved his bracelet in front of the scanner panel. Sure enough, a single asterisk appeared on the red.
Huh. Looks like you're right.
See? So what
Yeah.
does that mean?
It
There's only one
means
possibility.
it's not
That
0.
bracelet isn't the number 0.
Okay, see, I actually called this. I'm proud of myself for calling this. I'm pretty sure this is like a clue for 0 being June, because
Is that
she's
what you
number
said?
6, and this with 0's bracelet is 6. So hey, I called that actually
That's
somewhat.
right.
I was paying
Then
attention
what
for
number
once.
is it?
Let's find out.
It's gonna be this combination. It's him and alright. 7 June play Cap. There.
Let's try 7, me, and Cap.
7 plus June play. Yep.
If this combination opens the door, then Cap's bracelet is number 6.
Yeah. Indeed. There we go.
Hey, it opened! Had the door opened!
What? Why? What does that mean?
It means June is 0. Both 7 and Clover seemed rather shaken as they turned to look at Junpei for answers. Now, question is, if June is 0, why did she bring everybody else here? We got rescue saying, but something's gonna go horribly wrong. I mean, yeah, that's a legitimate fear because there are this many scenes left. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should have expected that, but still. We got a lot of stuff left, and there's no guarantee that we all make it out of this alive. The door slid heavily shut. Junpei raised an eyebrow.
Isn't it obvious? Cap's bracelet is number 6.
7 plus 5 plus 6 equals 18, plus 1 plus 8 plus 9.
But doesn't it say 0?
This isn't a 0. The symbol on here isn't a number 0.
It's a hieroglyph?
It's a letter O.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute. I don't get it.
You know, it's like how you spell the number 6. It's O-S-I-X.
I mean, we figured out that Cap's bracelet is 6, right?
Yeah.
And O is the 6th letter of the alphabet.
Does
It all
that
makes
mean there are
sense.
2 people with 6s?
Before Junpei could answer, Snake spoke up.
There is most likely only one person with a 6.
But I don't get it. What about June?
Well, this is only an educated guess, but
June is
I
0.
think June's number was never 6 to begin with.
It was actually G, the 6th letter of the alphabet.
Her bracelet was flipped. In other words, June's real number is...
9.
But wait, how would that make sense with all the combinations we've done until now?
That seems the most likely.
Then all this numbered door stuff was just a load of crap?
Why would you say that?
Because if June is 9, then the numbers wouldn't match up.
Exactly. If June is a Mastermind 0, why would they bring Junpei knowing they could have died? That's the question, unless them dying was never supposed to be an actual possibility. As long as they followed the rules or whatever. Or maybe she thinks Junpei was responsible for the thing where she like all the rabbits died? I don't know. Clover grabbed Junpei's notebook and began to write furiously in it.
Here, look.
Junpei leaned over to look at it.
List of all the numbered doors June's gone through.
I'll let you know what I'm writing, okay, Snake?
Yeah, so... Actually, wait. Hold on a minute. So if she was actually 9, that would make this, 25, and then that would be... Okay, yeah, that would mess up. This one... Yeah, no, this would also... No, never mind. Pay no attention to my math skills, guys. It's not gonna
And
work.
that's everything. I wrote down which door she went into and with whom. And I wrote what all the numbers were. So if you switch 9 in wherever there's a 6, the numbers don't work. If the digital root is 7, then you can't open door 4. If the digital root is 2, then you can't open door 8.
Clover, do you notice anything interesting on that list?
No.
What do you mean?
You're talking about 3, right?
Huh?
3?
Santa's always in the room with her. That's what you're saying, isn't it?
So what if Santa is 0, and then he just kind of has a master key?
Yes, that's right.
What about it?
That's quite simple, really.
Apartment complex? I find it quite simple, really.
You told me that the first time you came to this room, Santa was the first to refuse to leave June behind.
Right.
Now, doesn't that beg the question why? Why would Santa do such a thing?
Maybe he's a humanitarian.
The answer is easy.
Explain it for all the people in the chat who don't get it.
Because Santa can't open door 9 with only 7 in Lotus.
Okay, so that would be 7 and 8, 15 plus... Okay, yeah, that...
Of course, there's only one reason for that. His number isn't actually 3. Santa's real number...
is 0.
7? Would you be so kind as to modify my sister's
Oh, fuck. Yeah, Santa is 0. Okay. But then why the hell is her number 9?
Yeah, sure.
And why is 0 a 6? Why is it an O? I'm now more confused. And I even said that Santa might be 0. Must be I'm shit at math, so don't worry. You're the mathematician here. That's scary.
This is what
That
you're
I'm
getting
in
at,
charge.
Snake?
Okay, so if Santa was actually 0, like I kind of guessed, that would mean, yeah, that all works out, actually. Okay. That's intriguing. He read out the changes he'd made. When he'd finished, he looked at Snake. Snake smiled.
Thank you. That is exactly right, 7. Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
No way.
Okay, Santa being 0 makes a bit more sense now.
Santa is 0?
And June was 9, not 6.
So it evens out, right. Why would 0 put fake numbers? Exactly! It...
Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3.
Granted, he seemed to have hidden it until now because we never suspected that, or at least I didn't. But
Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
okay, so if Santa really was 0, that does beg the question what everyone's doing here. Because the only thing connecting June and Junpei to all this is the fact that they know each other. But
Santa was still playing by the rules of the notary game this whole time.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
I'm not sure if
Probably.
he acted alone or not.
well, clearly he wasn't alone because there were 2 other people that were here. June, Santa, and the Dead Cap all had their numbers switched around. Basically, yeah. Kinda. Except, no, June's got switched for a 9. Or her bracelet was just upside down to begin with. Santa's is a 0, and that's a 3, and then the 6 and the 0 bracelet is a 6. It's not quite
But I
switched
think it
around,
is
but
safe to
mostly.
conclude that he is 0, if my hypothesis is correct.
Okay. And that is fair. In the other ending in which June kind of vanished, and she was also left alone after Santa was there, he was gone, and then 0 was talking over the loudspeaker. Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, well. Junpei remained silent and thought.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right. June's bracelet being flipped. Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets.
Exactly, and the question becomes why.
And if that's the case,
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go.
So her
It's high
actual
time
name
we
is
went through that
September.
door.
That is an interesting little twist there. The 6 and a 9 on the analog number scheme do look the exact same. Exactly. That is true. But, I don't know. I don't think it would be an accident if it was flipped. Because, like, that combined with the fact that 7's number would be 0, theoretically, or Santa's number would be 0, theoretically, that to me seems intentional. They leapt through. Now I have to go find
It's
the
right
dead.
there.
The dead was directly in front of them as they came through the door. Quickly, they scanned their bracelets. Okay, and the detonator stopped. After pausing for a moment to catch their collective breath, Junpei and his companions headed down the long hallway in front of them.
All right, let's keep going.
At the end was a set of stairs leading down into the ship.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
So we're not going to the incinerator this time.
Looks dry.
Let's head down.
After deciding it was safe, they headed down the stairs. Maybe Zero remotely switched the numbers after realizing Cap and Santa had the wrong numbers, but the displays couldn't be changed without the bracelet itself. It is a distinct possibility. Like, I guess, yeah, he could have changed it later, and he didn't change the face of it so no one caught on to the problem. That is certainly a possibility. But maybe he has some kind of connection to June that she doesn't know about. And that's why he always had her with him, just to ensure that works out. Before long, Junpei and his companions found themselves on the bottom deck. They turned left into another hallway, at the end of which they found another door.
Hey, it's a...
And that would also explain then, if Santa is Zero, why he took June hostage with the intent of having them all go through the rest of the ship instead of having them try to leave. And of course, there was a symbol engraved over the keyhole. It looked like the sort of harpoon one would use to hunt fish, with the kind with 3 prongs. So Neptune? Snake traced the shape of it with his fingers.
This is the Neptune.
Yeah, baby!
There must be a key around
I'm a
here
genius.
somewhere.
Neptune key. I only have the Uranus key card.
I only have the key to Uranus. Clearly, it wasn't going to open this door.
It's a different planet. Plus, it's
I
the
know.
wrong kind of key.
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah.
After examining the door for a few more minutes, they gave up and headed back the way they'd come.
Hey, another door.
With a little more searching, they found a metal door.
And a card reader this time.
Hey, this is Uranus. A symbol was engraved onto the card
It's
reader.
the Uranus symbol.
Yep. Junpei did reveal the code to Snake's casket by messing with his bracelet, which is where I got Zero's inability to change the displays without taking the bracelets himself. That is true. The fact that it even has those buttons on it means that someone planned for that to happen. Changing the displays by gassing everyone would take too much time and the game would be pointless. Exactly.
This is the place.
He muttered to himself and slid the card through the reader. It beeped once and the light on it turned green. With a heavy metal groan, the door creaked open. Junpei, Clover, Snake, and Seven looked at one another, nodded, and stepped through. The room they found themselves in was full of books. Holy
Wow!
shit, this is a lot of books,
It's totally full of books.
said Clover, realizing that the room was in fact full of books.
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
It looked remarkably like a library. Junpei, you want to hazard a guess that perhaps it's a library? That just looks like one? Not the sort of library where large numbers of people came to read books, more like the sort of library that was simply a place to store books. He felt a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of books, but Junpei did his best to speak with authority.
Alright, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key. I say we split up and look for it.
Okay.
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the Forest of Knowledge. As he began his search, for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Arrow's Hell, my paradise, library size multiple decks. See, I think this place is really cool, but obviously my complete and utter inability to read will not help me here. Oh, it's even got his little eyes there, yeah. Seek a way out. Okay, let's see, what do we got? Energy theory, huh? I don't even understand the damn title. Looks like this shelf's all science technology. Okay, what's this? There's a note on that table. Lights to the books. Huh, what does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what, maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next? Or more if you're like me and you take a while to read. They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Imagine you had to read all the books, find the answer in one of the books in particular. Oh, that would honestly be kind of hellish. That'd be rough. Rather like myself. That's horrible. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, not at all. I live in the darkness, yes, but that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. Teletemporation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemporation. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Okay. This one says the golden rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about? It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon, according to Chinese legend. I feel like there's some kind of psychological situation horror books concerning the game's theme. I live in the darkness. Brother, you see nothing but darkness. Exactly. He's Bane. When you knew the darkness, I was already a man. The Kitab al-Azif. Man, they got some weird stuff here. Can't even pronounce this one. Who's that? Some famous guy? It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul Alhazred. It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. Oh. So these are all occult books and stuff. All occult books and stuff. The intonation was wrong. Alright. This book is called, Mind Swap? Mind Swap! You mean, like, you could change bodies with someone? Well, I guess I wouldn't mind switching bodies with my brother or Junpei too much, but I'd rather die than let Seven switch with me. Okay, Clover, again, what do you have against Seven? What the hell? Like, I didn't even want to swap bodies with a little brat like... Hey, were you just imagining it? You were! Shut up! Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. It's a cupboard. It's on the bottom floor. The stairs go down to the bottom floor. Then yeah, go down them! Oh, here we go. Okay, this looks interesting. Dadkind. Lelburns. Owen. Sheldrake. Sheldrake? Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... Leibniz. This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. Dadkind. What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. There was Seven imagining it was because you implanted the thought, Clover. Exactly! She started it. Okay, and then we got Owen. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary, or actor Owen Wilson, of the Cars fame. Okay, what's this thing? It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that look kind of like music stands. Am I supposed to put something on those stands? Yeah, I'm guessing we need 3 books to put in either all of these, and that's what we need to break the thing. Then there's this. There's a couple of books on the glass shelf. From left to right, they say Volume 6, Volume 3, Volume 2, Volume 4, Volume 1, and Volume 5. 632415. The middle of the glass door is still in their lock. You know, the kind where you rotate the numbers around until you got the right ones to open it. What the hell is this? I think they just give us the answer. So might as well give it a shot. 6, 3, 2, 4, 1. There we go. You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Okay, now we got a light bulb to put in the little enclosure thing. There are 3 lights in this thing. Not very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it in one of those lights? Yeah. Well, it'll get a lot brighter, but if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. Need 3 light bulbs, huh? Arrow challenge. Play a game without a character named Junpei. Level impossible. It does happen kind of a lot. I don't think being praised by the most insane of the group is a good thing. I mean, we're only being praised because we solved it, but even then we only solved it because it was incredibly obvious. So, Alright, we need 3 more light bulbs. Where am I gonna get 3 light bulbs? There's not a Home Depot on this ship. I don't think. The Pythagorean Theorem. This is a famous one. Sounds like there are a number of math books in this section. Okay, so now that we know we need a light bulb, we need to probably do something with those other books over there, but let's see. What else is up here? This is interesting. Ernal. Ew. Netiv. Off. What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah, heck, it's worth a shot. Okay, so... Open here, find bulb. How about this? It would be funny if you received crazy high praise for the smallest things. Like, imagine you screwed a light bulb and everyone freaked out. I feel like that would, like... That's like some kind of psychological horror sort of thing, like in a movie, where you start getting praised for, like, the smallest things you do, and you start being like, what the fuck is wrong with everyone? I just ate a sandwich from Subway. It's not worthy of praise. How about this? It's like putting those books in the right order. Open this thing right up. That was a piece of cake.
Hooray! You did it, Junpei.
I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spell out open here, find bulb. Now we have a second light bulb. Okay. Let's see, what else around here would lead to something? What stands out? The black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. I guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. Let's see. What's a picture book like that doing here? Looks like it's a little about Little League. It does seem a little weird that it's so different from the others, huh? Maybe you ought to take it with you? Okay, so let's search it. There's a baseball on this one. Baseball, huh?
Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball. Whoa! Ah! It's me! Head. Alright, what do I do with this? It's one of those pop-up books, isn't it? It says head. Head, you mean like where my brain is? That's not where my brain is, but yeah. Okay, so I need like a psychological book or something. History of the medieval period. Maybe it's about Sir Lancelot? Why is it in Japanese, though? Isn't he just a story? I don't think you're gonna find a guy who didn't really exist in a history book. You see, Junpei, King Arthur was a woman. Automated robotics assembly line, huh?
What's that? Some sort of comic book? Jeez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh?
The blue and red match you. It does, actually. It's like the same color scheme. Or not only like color scheme, like same colors. Huh. I wonder if I check the color code how close that would be. No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. So I need psychology, though. There aren't any other books that look suspicious. Oh, I already saw that. Functions of the human brain, huh? I guess this is a book about the nervous system. I'd love to ask you to read it to me, but I don't think we have the time.
I'm kind of curious about it, too. There's gotta be a reason why people connect with each other, you know?
Okay, so in other words, I think this is a book we have to put on a little stand downstairs. We're probably gonna have to arrange them in a certain order to find the key out. But that means we also need 2 other books and 1 other bulb, so... Paleontology. Oh, dinosaurs. Nice. Alright.
This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking.
Mother Nature. Isn't that some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not, except perhaps tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. Oh yeah, it'd be funny if you received... Oh yeah, that would be a goofy movie plot, I agree. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? Alright, what about this one? The Theory of Evolution. Heck, even I know this one. It's that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book on the origin, called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth this theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. So then what's the weird book in this one? This one says The Transition of Extinct Species. Well, before a species can become extinct, they need to buy a blahage. We need to hurry it up, or we're gonna end up in the We need to hurry it up, or we're gonna end up in the pages of a book like that. Okay, then... Yeah, I think I already searched this. Okay, yeah, we already looked at that. Golden Rabbit and the Moon. I think we already searched all of these. Mind swap! We literally were just here. Yep. Energy theory. Already did that one. That was a bunch of evolutionary. Okay, we already clicked that one. We already clicked that. This is that one again. Okay. Well, wait, no, it isn't. Wait, so I can just see the same... Alright, that's the midpoint there. What about this one? Hey, it's another one of those kids' picture books. Looks a lot like the other one we found. Okay, so now we found... Okay, so we basically need to find books with, like, the spine that's, like, blank and red. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! Kill. Okay. Gotcha. I need to search it. I know what it says. Alright. In that case, if we're looking for those books in particular... We were just here. There's a bunch of books with the title The Black Hole Hypothesis. Maybe it's downstairs. Unless... We're already here. Medieval period. Okay, yeah, so probably not on these shelves. I think. We need a red-spined book. This one? Modern Japanese literature, huh? Let's see what we got here. Any books. I wonder what this one's... Whoa! What's this? Warm? Oh. Sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's the deal with this sappy stuff? What do you mean, warm? What was warm? Books in here are all sorts of languages. Can't read them. Alright, so let's go back to this. Maybe this means something. Yellow book with Laborkins. Yeah, but... This has to be a puzzle of some kind. I just don't know what it is. Alright. Let's go back to finding the other books. Okay, so we already went there. All seem to be about history. What's Hellenism? I think it's something like a fusion of Greek and Oriental culture. Look, this one says Cultural Heritage of Rome. But that's gonna be serious inheritance tax. Okay. What am I missing? Doesn't seem like there's anything else there. I think we already got the one here. Energy theory, development of nanotechnology materials. None of them used the bathroom in like 6 hours. Yeah, no, that's... They also haven't been able to drink or anything, I think. Interactions between shortwave energy and matter. What else we've got? Just listening to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff, and I get along really well. Keep on talking about that stuff, and you're gonna put me to sleep. Then you will drown beneath the waves. Okay, we were already there. Yeah, that's the Mother Nature book. So where do we need to go? Micrographia, huh? Oh yes, Robert Hooke's famous work, published in 1665. He built a microscope and examined insects and organic substances and other things too small to be seen in detail by the human eyes. He then drew pictures of many of the things he's examined and published them in a book. I'd hazard a guess this shelf is concerned with natural sciences. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors have most likely lost their tails as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better put to use elsewhere. At least that's what I read. I was rather young. I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? How would a kid be reading a book like that? Okay. What am I missing? Okay, back to the... Alright. What around here has to give? Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague, I don't really know what it might be about. An overview of photochemistry? I think whoever set this up wanted us to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay? Oh, okay, there's the bulb. Huh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei, I think there's something hidden behind the books. Powerful light bulb. Okay, so we all got all 3 light bulbs. We need the last book, though. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Okay, so where are we missing from? Oh, look, Seven, here's a book that's perfect for you. It's called Correlation of Muscle, Bone Density, and Bone Strength. You're just saying that because it says muscle. Which is a compliment, in a way. Principles of Monkey Behavior, huh? I'd imagine that's a book describing praxeology studies on monkeys. Monkeys are very similar to humans evolutionarily, so I imagine the research was fruitful. Ancient gladiators. What's this book doing here? Maybe they were researching human physical limits across history. Okay, so that's not a book I need. Where is the book I need? Look, this one's called Recreation of Lost Human Functions. Think they're talking about if you, like, lose part of your body, you could grow it back? I don't think so. Maybe they're talking about reconstructing abilities that humankind once possessed, like laser eyes or flight. In other words, they may be talking about cultivating a sixth sense. Can't use the ladder. Theories about the Cambrian explosion. Did a bomb go off near something called Cambria? Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. I am slurring most of these. Alright. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. Micrographia, huh. Our main kind loose details. Okay. So I already know to shine lights on the books. The question is, where's the last book? We just saw that. Are property values going up on space too these days? Man, I guess times are rough for aliens too.
This one says cosmic inflation. Quantum gravity. Evan, do you have any idea what this is?
How about you start by using real words? Maybe we'll get somewhere. There are a couple of books in this shelf. Okay, never mind. Where the hell's the last book? Did I not use a ladder? Like... Cultural Heritage of Rome. Oh, wait, maybe this one. Oriental History. Maybe this one's about China's 4,000 years of history or something? Hey, Chinese history and Oriental history aren't the same thing. It looked like the other books, though. This book's called Hellenism. Hey, look at this. This book's called Greek Mythology. Damn, that thing's huge. Imagine anyone's actually read the whole thing. Pretty sure it just put me to sleep. Maybe it is down here. I don't know.
It says Riemann hypothesis. What is there to hypothesize about with Riemann? Isn't it pretty straightforward?
Heavens no, there are many factors. Length, girth, lubrication, or lack thereof. It's an exciting and rapidly growing field. Yep.
Whoa.
Alright, let's just not bring that up again.
That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics? That's funny.
Why is that funny? Maybe Clover is racist against Indian people. Let's see, can we find anything else in here, or... All 6 books seem to be pointing at the... well... Books to all sorts of languages, can't read them. What the hell's the last one? Folklore and myth. Oh, here we go. Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know? Brings back good memories. Dude's like, I get that you can't see your own, but still. What if Snake has an actual snake instead of what he should have? I guess even people like Seven were kids once. No shit, you little brat! Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. Got a magic wand on it. Okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside. Smart. Whoa! Say 5, huh? Okay. Small enclosure with 9 sides. Yeah, I know that. We'll try putting them picture books on the stands. 10. A little weird. Three lights in here, gonna change the bulbs. Now they should. Shield Rake 5. Awesome, it worked! Oh, Shield Drake! Yeah, Sheldrake. Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters, they seem familiar. You know, if we just opened up all of those books, we would have found it. Without having to do any of the puzzles. There's Sheldrake in the spine of this book. Got the number written in the lower part of the spine. Okay, alright, do I have to really look at the picture and click on it to get him to look?
Sheldrake 5?
Yeah, the 5th Sheldrake book. Snake the Cerberus-tailed fucker, the god of Zero Escape.
I
Exactly.
think I saw the rest of this collection
The champion.
somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Nah.
Lotus told me about him.
Wait, what?
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Morphogenetic fields.
Okay,
which
so yeah, this
relies
is
on
still
the
about
theory of
morphogenetic
morphic
fields.
resonance.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
That was approximately, for us, about 2 months ago?
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
Yeah, because the
She did?
other nonary
Yeah,
games.
what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is
Epiphany and stress.
and the
And
other
danger.
is
Shit.
danger.
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Ugh. Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
And he reveals the one piece of information we need to crack this whole thing
But
wide
not
open.
here. Let's move to the top floor.
After we get the key. We got the key, right?
I suppose I might as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple.
You thought Ace was going to kill you.
Zero told me not to.
Oh.
I had little choice. He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's a Braille card. It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Huh? What do you mean?
Was it inside the other one?
I thought that card just had some rules for the nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you.
And also there was another bit about not saying anything. Okay.
However, they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
And that was?
That you were in the other nonary game?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator. It's a threat
okay.
on our lives.
Oh. Well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell
The fact that
anyone.
Sheldrake is still a real author parapsychologist that I mentioned is insane because that means the devs put a lot of effort into using actual info. Yeah, it's like they heard the theory and then decided to base an entire game off of it, I guess. That's interesting though. It shows research on their part. I like it.
Still, a apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me. I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff.
Clearly, because otherwise she would be dead.
She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
Could be that Zero is not
That's
watching.
very true. I've decided I can trust you. I've
Yeah, I'm
decided
trustworthy.
to tell you the truth. The chance that Santa is Zero is very high. I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment. And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Why?
He
Clover
needs
told
us.
me about the four-leaf clover, about the words.
Because he was there too.
If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us, no matter what the situation was.
So let me lay this all out, right? We know Snake, Clover, and Santa were all a part of a previous Nonary game. Seven was investigating it. Lotus was the mother of a few of the kids there. Ace was the guy who ran it, and the Ninth Man was also involved in running it somehow, and so he knew Ace. That only leaves Junpei and June as two people who seem, at the moment, completely unrelated to everything happening. And thus begs the question, what are they both doing here?
Hey, Snake?
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Basically nothing.
Clover told me about...
I see. The morphogenetic field in
No,
the
you don't.
experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
Yeah.
And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she?
Didn't tell me her name, which I feel like is a bit of a clue. What if her name was June?
At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine...
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Which Ace ran?
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo,
Who is Ace?
Nagisa Nijisaki,
Named after Love Live.
Teruaki Kubota,
I don't have a joke for this one.
Kagechika Musashido.
Sure.
Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
This was Ace. I think this is the Ninth Man.
Nijisaki was his right-hand man and did the lion's share of the planning. Kubota led the company's
Okay, so the
research and
Ninth Man's name was
development
Kubota.
division. Musashido was their majority stockholder.
And this guy looks like the guy who was the captain, because he's like all kind of pudgy and has the mustache and all that. Which means this guy might have been the guy who died in Snake's place. And if he died in Snake's place, then that means all 4 of them were on board this ship.
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment. Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed
it.
and Nijisaki put it all together.
He put it together.
Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
Huh, so it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Which also means that Ace would have recognized him. Oh, no, it wouldn't, because he wasn't. He has face blindness, I forgot, yeah. So, he wouldn't have recognized this guy since he didn't talk, but he did recognize him because he heard him speak.
Of course,
And this guy didn't talk either.
Were required to conduct an experiment of this scale. To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist.
You mean
them
no,
in
you
their
don't was
research.
instinct. Yeah, that was built in. So Ace was the only survivor out of the 4? I believe so. Essentially, yeah. So currently, this guy's dead, this guy's dead, this guy's dead, and if Ace dies too, all of them would have died on this ship.
All in all, they gathered 10 people or so.
The question is, why were only these 2 included in the initial part of the game, and these 2 not?
Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project.
Okay.
The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field.
Huh.
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation?
Instinct? I don't know.
Experiments with humans produce the same results.
You gotta wonder, well, how instinct works, because, like, when you think about it, it's kind of like genetic memories, isn't it? Ace being face-blind explains the lack of recognition of other members, and maybe he knows stuff but doesn't know as the other members. Especially previous Dino members like Clover and Snake. Exactly.
The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen? The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye.
The
And
morphogenetic
through that
field.
the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
Okay.
But that's just a theory.
A
Can't
game.
bring yourself to believe it.
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it.
Been there, yeah.
Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder.
Pull my devil trigger.
They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
That's right.
Right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, but how does
So
that
how
relate
are
to
they
the
going to do that
just
with a
figuring
morphogenetic
out
field?
memories through other timelines?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem. The
Right.
chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up. Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now. Tomorrow,
Okay.
the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding.
Bro, you think I could pull off a handstand?
Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event.
You can't say you defied the laws of robotics, you'd be scrapped. But, yeah, no, I shouldn't admit to it
All
at least,
of the
yeah.
resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen?
So someone who could make everyone think what they're thinking.
If that one person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
Soon enough, everyone's
Can you
doing
imagine what a
handstands.
person with powers like that would be able to do?
They'd be able to do a handstand.
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person.
They're also doing a handstand.
This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand.
Oh wow, he's actually doing a handstand.
What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands?
What I'm trying to get across here, Junpei, is that I really like the idea of everyone doing a handstand.
What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Everyone will be doing handstands.
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish. That's what you're saying, right?
And they'll make them do
Yes.
a handstand.
Close enough, at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first. At
In the
least,
nonary
That was
game.
how they thought. That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began.
So basically, there were puzzles on the ship that they
By the
had the
way,
people on
Junpei-
land solve, or something.
Have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Oh, wait a minute, I should have had it be the novel screen the whole time. Snake suddenly looks very serious. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project.
Oh,
the
okay.
hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
So they put kids in that, and then they all
Hongo
read
used it to conduct
things.
experiments on visiting children in secret. Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed
The
as though
children
they might
are
be able to
powerful.
access the field. Of course, None of them volunteered.
Well, obviously none of them volunteered.
They were
To be fair,
kidnapped.
if I was like a small child and they said like, we want you to help us figure out how to read minds, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's do it. In different words spoken, but you know. His face
There were
barely
9
moved as he
pairs
spoke.
of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not
So who
fully
is
understood at the
Santa's
time,
sibling?
Each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver. They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who
It
were
could be
put
that
into
Santa's
Group
sibling
Q
was the girl
were
that
the ones
died.
who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert. The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A.
Oh, question and answer, okay.
Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had
Maybe Santa and
conducted
June
so
related
far,
somehow? It could
Hongo
be,
had
yeah.
learned the following.
But that would also mean that June was then in the experiment, and that leaves Junpei alone as the only guy that wasn't. Or what if Junpei and June are siblings?
There are 2 things that can increase one's resonance with the
That would be
fields.
crazy.
The first is epiphany. The other is danger. Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind? It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany. The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted. Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field access. That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room.
And puzzles can't be the same, otherwise he would know how to solve them.
Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger.
So the ship was sinking.
He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the nonary game as
June
the
would
ship
probably be
sunk.
too distant of a relative. From my understanding, all the previous nonary experiments were... Yeah, exactly. What if they were siblings? That'd be... I don't think that actually, but like, that would be very funny.
By forcing the children
Somehow.
into a life or death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields.
Or it also begs the question, if 9 of us are on the ship now, and this is supposed to be like part of the experiment, wouldn't that mean there are also 9 other people that are in a different place
The
trying to help
children
us?
from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the
Unless
mock
this is just
experiment
like a mock
Building
version
Q.
of it. To try and like extort answers? I don't know.
Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same. Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape. But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown.
Fuck.
Those were his orders. Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely?
Because they had a team in the control room.
It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule. All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13.
If June and Junpei were siblings, by your previous implication, love interest between the two would leave sour results. It would be weird. Yeah.
NASA was able
Definitely.
to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in.
Wouldn't it be really funny though if this game was like, man, you know, I'm liking the mystery, I think the story's really interesting, and then they're like, yeah, now incest. And it's like, no, why? What?
By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with. Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule. That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic and Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found and transmit what they learned through the fields. The children in Group A, however, they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is
In
the
that
simplest
case, there was no other way
explanation
to
I can manage.
for them to solve it? Or did they... I guess they only had the... Whatever. Point is, they were able to solve it, kinda. Imagine if you were dating someone without knowing they were related to you, like Star Wars. That would be kind of nuts. There was this one story I heard once of this guy who was like, who met this other dude, and they really hit it off, right? They're a happy gay couple, and then eventually they do a DNA test. They find out genetically they are brothers. And it's like, well, you know, the main problem with incest as it stands is like, you'd have like potentially a weird kid. So, you know, if they can't even have a kid, who cares? Just go for it. They've never known each other before. Considering the telepath experiments by close siblings, then maybe the very close siblings might hold another factor in the results. That's true, yeah. Snake sounded defeated. His half-hearted attempt at derision served only to show how much the story had affected him.
Huh.
Just as Junpei was about to speak...
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses? Get down here already!
We probably should have gotten the key first. Yeah, we could have explained on the walk over. Seven's voice echoed up from below. Snake took a deep breath and blinked rapidly, as if just waking up from a long nap.
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Snake headed for the stairs, but Junpei put out an arm to stop him.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you.
Hmm?
Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
And not 16.
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it?
Because 2 of them died.
Yes. I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment. After all, you couldn't exactly play a nonary game with any less, could you?
I mean, you could just cut out the 9th person, because functionally the numbers still work the same.
Well, yeah, but are you saying that the news got it wrong?
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children.
Alright, here's my guess, right? I'm guessing the 2 other kids were Santa and his sister died and he went missing. So that way...
However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing. They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi. The sister's name was...
Nona.
Her name was...
Nona. Her name was Nona. Just say Nona. They couldn't bring himself to continue. It looked as if what he was about to say brought him great pain.
Her name was Akane.
Oh. Okay, so that's June. Gotcha. And if one of the kids died, it might have been her brother.
That was the girl who died.
Oh, wait, no. What? Also, Junpei, why are you freaking out? It could be another Akane. There are more people. Junpei felt as if he'd been punched in the stomach. His vision went blurry and his head felt light.
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
He didn't say her last name. It could be anybody.
Then, who's June?
Okay, what if she's Alice and she's been frozen the whole time?
No. It's impossible. It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name.
Exactly.
If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely. So they share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was.
Junpei shook his head and pulled himself back to reality.
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
But they also wouldn't bring that up if that wasn't important, so... Then Snake hadn't noticed. Junpei cleared his throat and tried to act calm.
No, it's nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, alright?
Snake raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. He headed down the stairs, Junpei bringing up the rear.
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words.
What if you didn't know? Like, I thought Alice was Lotus because yeah, June wouldn't make sense because that implies she was flash frozen after the Titanic. Yeah, something's clearly a bit screwy here. With every step he took, the cold, hard sound of feet against metal dug at his heart. Okay, anyway, back to the thing we were doing. Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. Didn't it say 5 at the end of the picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. The one right here? Yeah. Oh, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. I guess we should press this button. Ah! Huh. Not what I was expecting.
What was that sound?
It sounded like something really big was moving.
It came from the top floor.
Alright, let's go check it out. What the hell am I looking at? It's a thick metal door. There's a handle in the middle of it, though. Alright, this handle's gonna open the door for me. Arrgh! Man, it doesn't matter how hard we pull, this thing isn't going anywhere. Looks like it's probably locked. What about this one? Come on, door open! Nothing. Might as well try to open the wall. I know you're feeling kind of rushed, but you do realize that's pointless, don't you? It's not going to get you anywhere. There's only one thing we can do. Let's go. Alright, nope. Stop. Let me click on the down arrow. There. 13, 14, 10, 13. What? Okay, lightning, meteor, Tidus, lightning.
Well, I bet you're gonna type something on that keyboard.
Yeah, but you can only enter letters.
And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters.
Let's see how it works. You still need to hit enter once you type in the letters. You can erase what you typed with clear. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so 13, 14, 10, 13. So that's, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. What's number 10 again? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, J, M. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright. Damn it. I just don't get this. What the hell's the point of these Roman... What is Snake doing? These Roman numerals. If you convert them to Arabic numerals, you'll have 13, 14, 10... Well, yeah, what about it? True. But this keyboard only has letters, and we can only enter 4 letters. Then why don't you just convert the numbers to letters? Convert the numbers to letters? I did that. Okay. Try this again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. That's 13. N. 10 would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, M. Functionally, this should be it. Actually, wait a minute. I forgot. We're using the converting to numbers after the letters thing, so that's... Once it hits 10, it goes to... 11 was A, I think. 12 is B, so this is C. D... Wait, no, hold on. D... E... Oh. Okay, so I was using the wrong way of converting it. Never mind. They're currently somewhere in the ocean. I'm surprised no one was reporting a sinking ship on a trade route. They might have, but it might have taken longer to get, like, help there.
Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now.
Good job, Junpei. Well, now, don't get too excited. Password was dead, remember? This makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good.
So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, come on. We got it to unlock, didn't we? Let's go. Hurry up.
Okay, let's see. Where are we, like, map-wise? Oh, wow, we are not even close to the end. Alright. Yay. Thick metal... Yeah. Handle. It's time we'll get it over with. Grrr! Damn it, I can't get it open. This thing won't even budge. What? Why not? Put it in the password. What else do we have to do?
And that means...
The other door. I got a 50% chance that I missed it completely. Alright, let's get this thing open. Okay. The door opened, and Junpei and the others leapt through it.
All right, this is the next.
Just as Seven was about to finish his sentence, their attention was drawn to the clang of metal on metal ringing out behind them.
Ugh, the door!
They spun around. The door they'd just come through had slammed shut.
Did that just close on its own?
Don't tell me we can't go back.
I don't know. Let's see.
Junpei grabbed hold of it with both hands and pulled with all of his strength.
Damn it.
Okay, can we pull with all of Seven's strength?
It looks like it locks automatically.
Is there any other way out?
Well, there's another door over on the right. There's a card reader next to it. It's got a red light on it, though, so I'm pretty sure it's locked, too.
But there is a card reader, right?
Yeah.
Then perhaps if we find a key card, we could open the door and leave?
Well, yeah, that might work, but...
Hey! Wait a minute! Are you saying we're gonna have to search through this room for one little card?
Oh, man.
Well, we got 4 of us. There's not a ton of stuff. They took a second to look at the room they'd found themselves in. Okay, so it's not great, but, it was filled with piles upon piles of all manner of things. The only word that could describe it was chaotic. It was like a tornado had passed through, followed by a giant who picked up and shaken the entire room a few times.
Looks that way.
Junpei's heart fell.
No way!
For real?
We got little bits of a lot of the other puzzles. We got, like, a dead over here. We got mannequin parts. Well, we got a lot of, like, little bits of things. Huh. Real? Clover and Seven looked as though they were about to cry.
Well, we can sit down and wait to die, if that's what you prefer.
Yeah,
I rather doubt that, however. So it would be wise to start looking.
agreed. Why is the walking refrigerator not pulling with everyone? Good question.
We haven't much time. Let's find
Guys,
that
like a
key
freight
card.
train. We have a delivery to make.
Oh, and the Neptune key as well.
If we can,
We won't
yeah.
be able to get through the hallway without it. All right then. Let's begin.
Okay, another escape room. Should be quick. Potentially. The study. Let's see, just to make sure. Okay. Alright, so in other words, we actually are progressing slightly faster than expected. That was a very brief little novel section, but we are through this. Okay. There are piles of crap everywhere. Man, this place is a mess. It's so messy, I don't know where to start. Some of this crap looks familiar. I think a lot of these are parts of the puzzles we've solved in the other rooms. If that's true, then this room could be Zero's laboratory. Perhaps Zero would shut himself in this room to devise the machines and puzzles he'd need to get his plans to come to fruition. Alright, so we got a map. Hey, Junpei, isn't this a nautical table? Yeah, this is that map we had in the other puzzle. Yeah, I feel like I've seen this before. New material has been added to the file screen. There's some computer monitors on this desk. Don't see CRT monitors that much anymore. Yeah, you don't, but... screen is huge. Wonder why it's blue. Maybe if I touch it... Ah! Something on the screen now. What is this? There are 15 cells here with numbers and letters in them. Let me see that. Oh, I see. Maybe you touch a cell, all the ones next to it turn on or off. Just gotta use that to make the all cells on the right in the bottom green. Hey, Junpei, I found this piece of paper under that thing. You wanna take a look at it? You think this might have something to do with the puzzle? It's a piece of paper Clover gave me. There are a bunch of numbers and letters connected by equal signs on it. Just like she said, this is probably related to the puzzle on the screen somehow. Thanks, Clover. This really helps. Alright, let's go back and try again. Anyway, it looks like I just need to make all the cells all green. Huh. I'm getting there, okay. Okay, you don't reset it. Alright, let's see. So I need to make these two do that. For starters. Uh-huh. Okay, no. Hold on. I'll figure this one out. I got this. And then... there we go. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, so it's not even just that I need all of them there, I just need them to all be green. Okay. So... Alright. Six plus 4, so A is 10. In that case... A is 10, so... 6 plus F is L. Getting there, okay. We got both the A's just fine. That's nice. We also need to take... Alright, so we can't have this. We can't have the top left one. We also additionally don't need... We're good there. Alright, so in other words, we basically just need one more on the bottom row somehow, and then we're fine. Let's do escape is pressing buttons and fucking praying. Honestly, I'm feeling that right now, yeah. We need this one active, so hold on. Okay, so basically we need all of these active for the middle row. We only need these two active for that one. We're getting there. So basically, in terms of this, we need all except this one and this one to be active. So, let's try to work towards that then. Alright, let's see, so... Activating this will activate those two. This will deactivate that. This does that. And then... And then, Alright, you know what? Reset. Alright. To recap. This one. I think. So, in that case... I also need to get rid of this, so... Oh. Okay, so yeah, it's this one and this one I need to have blank. So... And I also need this one to be there, so... Getting there. Nope, that's just putting it back to where it was. Okay. Hey, Zero, welcome to the stream. Alright, I'm desperately trying to figure out math stuff. Let's see. I do this, then this. And this. This. I can make the thing almost blank. That's not really gonna help, though. Alright, so... And we're back to where we were before. God damn it. Alright. Oh dear, I watched Revenge of the Sith in the cinema today. Oh cool, what was it like? What I really need to do is get these four corners, these three corners alone, and then I can just activate this in the middle and go for that. Okay. So in other words, if I activate this, then this, then this, and this, and then wait, hold on, work with me. I need... What do I need? There. There. Okay, and then... No, I fucked it up. Alright. Ah. Okay, good. We got those. And then... Oh, you're... No, I can't find the answer to this puzzle too easily, so you're gonna have to be on your own. Yeah, don't worry about it. This one doesn't seem that... It's like deceptively hard, I think. I know what I need to do to make it work. I just need to figure out the right path to doing it. And by right path, I essentially just need to activate this 5 now without activating anything else. And then I'll have it. So... back here... And then... this... What I essentially need to do is make it to where the least desirable things all happen at once. There. And then if I could just activate these two things without sacrificing the 5, that would work, but... Unfortunately, that doesn't really seem to be very functional at the moment. I just need this to get blank as well. Without anything else happening. I'm finally answering another mannequin situation if it takes too long. No. This will be fine. I know there isn't an easy answer to this. I'm not just like wildly flailing. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it done properly. Then there's that. And I can't have this be on the same thing as one of these. Because this is the one thing holding me back at this point. And also not having that here. So... Well, I now have all the things I don't need, so in a way that's kind of success. Hmm. So close. I don't need this part. I'm so close to figuring it out. And I don't need the D either. Okay. All right. If the F wasn't here, this would be perfect. I know, my British biology exams are just depressing. Oh god. So much with this, Jesus fuck. I'm trying not to hurt you, but I'm just made of pain giving. Alright. Okay, and then... just need to get rid of all that, while also there we go, okay. You did it, Junpei, after 97 minutes. You're so smart. I'm not, thanks, but, oh god. You seem to have done an excellent job and solved the puzzle. Just what I would have expected from you, Junpei. Hey, come on, you're embarrassing me. Oh, whoa, don't get cocky, kid. You don't got time for that. Look at this. Check out the right edge of the control panel. The lid should open and something came out. A cross emblem, okay. What am I gonna do with this? Oh god, is there another one? Let's see what happens when I... Okay, battlefield. Alright. Well, now we got something on the screen, at least. Huh? What is this? Oh, wait a minute. I saw something like this when I figured out that Morse code puzzle back in the communications office. Morse code? Yeah, the dots here look like the dots from Morse code. 2 dots in the first line, 4 from the second, 4 in the second, and 1 in the last. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, perhaps you should give it a shot anyway. Alright, I'll try. Before I do that, though, you ought to run through the instructions. You just tap the button, it'll enter a DIT. If I hold the button down, it'll enter a DA. Once we enter our answer, it'll automatically determine if it was the correct answer or not. Alright, let's do this. Hold on a sec. What was this? What did the screen look like? Yeah, I know the instructions, but like... DIT holding... I got that, but show me the screen. Okay, you know what? I'll look around for things and we'll see from there. This monitor is part of this machine. Really dim though. It's got a map of the world on it, but I can barely see it. What this thing is for? There's something on the front that looks like a compass. Let's see. Okay, this thing. Something written on the piece of paper. Looks like we got 3 sheets of the stuff. Materials mounted to the file screen. Okay. File. What did I just get? No, I don't need that. Okay. What did I just get? I gotta say, I hate how this screen is organized. Morse code chart is found on the steel shelf in the small cluttered room. Okay. S is ... T is dash, U, okay. So, what code am I supposed to enter then? S to Z. Small cluttered room. Oh, there are 3 pages of it, right. This is the other letters. Dots do not seem to be a pattern that determines which collection of dots and dashes is assigned to each letter. Okay. Gotcha. What about... yeah. One must call a dom, hold by holding the button down. Okay. I got that, but what am I supposed to enter? ABC? Let's see, there are only 3 slots. The first one only allows 2 dots, or a da. So... hold on, what is it for this? First one only allows 2, so it can't be S. It has to be... A or I. Or M or N. Okay. The third one only allows... the second one only allows 3. So if it's only 3, O or K. Okay, G, D, and W. Well, let's try that again. Oh, good job. I'm actually confident you have one if you find the answer. Yeah. I do have a clue, at the very least. Let's see. I'll switch through the code sheets I've got by touching the 3 icons over on the right. Okay, good. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second one, third. Okay, so it's 2, 4, then 1. So 2, 4, 1. 2, 4. I'm trying to think of like an actual like word that's 3 letters and would work for this. 2, 4, 1. NYT, MYT, IYT, 2, 4, 1. Oh, okay, hold on. Dot, dash, dash, dot, dash, dot, dot. Okay, so it's not ace. Let's see. M, N, P, Q. Maybe the code is written somewhere else in the room. Let's try looking for that before I go too in depth on the whole, like, oh, I got this. Metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. I had a bad feeling about this. I don't think we're gonna find a relaxing sunny garden on the other side of that thing. Oh, come on, what the hell are you so scared of? Let me handle this. No good. Yeah. Damn it, damn thing won't budge. I have to admit, I'm very curious about what might be hiding on the other side. I would say the code could be all, but... What about this thing? Wouldn't be locked because it's only 3 letters. There are piles of crap everywhere. This is a pretty impressive mess. If we try and search every one of these, we're gonna beat it till the cows come home. Yeah, till the... Well, that doesn't seem too bad. We won't have to go bring them in ourselves then. Don't you get smart with me, kid. How about we deal with this area later, okay, guys? Maybe we should try something more promising. There are monitors. These monitors hang down from the ceiling. Each screen shows a room on the ship.
Junpei, look, there's a compass on there.
Ah, now I get it.
What do you mean?
I guess you weren't there, Clover, but I solved a puzzle like this one in the wheelhouse. I think we just need to do the same thing here. Same thing? The important part is this nautical table we just found. I just have to match up the directions on the compass with the lines on the nautical table. I used the steering wheel in the wheelhouse, but this time I think I'm going to use the wheel attached to the side here.
Okay, then show me, now.
Of course. Maybe I ought to run through the instructions. This looks like it probably works the same way the steering wheel in the wheelhouse did. If I just touch the direction I want it to turn to, the compass will turn that direction. And I just gotta stop when the compass is pointing where I want it to. I'm betting something will happen if I can do it right. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so... East... Then... Wait, hold on. South, west, southeast, northeast, east, north, east. West, okay. Southeast. Northeast. East. North. And then east. There we go.
Yay, you did it, Junpei. Whoa, who's a good boy?
Knock it off. I don't have time for screwing around right now. Check out the right side of the monitor. I slid open and something came out.
Oh yeah. I heard a noise too. You know that big box in the hall by the exit? I think it made a noise. Like something unlocking, you know?
Noise, huh? Helm emblem. So we got a cross and a helm. How about this thing? Metal shutter looks pretty sturdy. It's framed with black and yellow warning stripes. Alright, let's open it. Oh, all ice. Okay. Oh, holy shit. That's pretty damn creepy. There's a coffin in there. Coffin. Oh, the word is ice. Okay, hold on. Coffin, a coffin. Man, does Seven think... Yeah, he's all pale. He's thinking the same thing I am. No way. Could this be... I'm sorry, but what's going on?
It's a coffin. I wonder if there's a vampire in it.
Alright, I guess Clover and Snake don't know the story. And I can't bring myself to tell them. Well, at any rate, let's have a look around. Okay, the word is ice. It wasn't ace, it was ice. Okay. ... There we go. I see. It seems you have solved the puzzle, Junpei. Excellent work. The answer was ice. How did you know? All I had to do was listen to the sounds the machine made. After that, it was a trivial matter to decode them. Ah, yes. I believe I heard a noise from somewhere on the right side of the device after you solved the puzzle. It sounded rather like something sliding open. Do you see anything that could have made that noise? Yeah, that's true. Ah, yes, one more thing. I hear a noise from the back of this device. Rather like metal striking wood or something similar, I would say. Well, it's nothing we need to concern ourselves about. Code emblem. Okay, so we've got all the emblems. Alright, fine, I'll open it. Okay, Junpei, you can do this. It's just a box. Just a box, just a box. Oh, holy shit, this is a coffin! There's gotta be something horrible in there, I just know it! Okay, okay, deep breaths. Oh, here we go. Ah. Oh man, there's nobody in there. Yeah, I can't believe I was scared of something like that.
What do you mean nobody? Were you expecting someone to be in there?
It's a long story. Ask Junpei about it sometime. Well, just like Seven said, there's nobody in there. There is something in there, though. Well, two somethings, actually. What is that? Another emblem and a key. Oh, hey, that's the Neptune key. Yeah. There are two things in the bottom of the coffin. So we've got a plate with an emblem on it, and,
The Neptune key! Yes, we finally found it!
what if everyone who left is still alive? For all we know, they were only survivors. That's true. We don't know what happened to them after they left.
Now we can get through the hallway.
That's correct, Clover, but we do need to get out of this room first, you know.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get the hell out of here as quickly as possible.
Language. I don't have any objections to that. I don't think we'll use the Neptune key in this room. It's really important, though, so I'll keep it in my pocket for now. As far as this other thing goes... Metal plate shaped like a shield. There's a sort of crosshatch pattern on it, like a waffle. Waffle pattern looks just like the lid of the coffin. Okay, so we got the 4 emblems. What do we do with them? Card reader. It says lock. Not gonna be able to open this door until we find the card that goes to this thing. Pile of junk. We don't have time to go through this. Okay. What have I not looked at yet? These things? Oh, here we go. Alright, put in the emblems and the 4 indentations on the desk, but... Huh? Nothing's happening? Wait, what's Snake doing? I feel symbols engraved just above each indentation. On the upper left is the steering wheel symbol, on the upper right, the cross symbol, on the bottom left, the mysterious circle symbol, and lastly, the waffle pattern is engraved near the bottom of the right indentation. Additionally, each symbol... I feel like they did get out. I feel like Zero would have announced, like, number of players left the ship. That's true. Plus, it might be something that we need all 8 of us for. Additionally, each symbol seems to have been given a number. 1, steering wheel, 2, cross, 3, mysterious circle, and 4, waffle patterns. Perhaps we need to insert the emblems in this order. That order, huh? Whoa! Well, now, we got something on the monitors, at least. What's that? Looks like some kind of puzzle. Wonder if these are the rules. Here, I'll read them to you. When you touch a number area, that area will be selected and it will turn blue to indicate this. Touching a number ball after selecting an area will cause that ball to move to that area. However, you cannot move the red balls. You can only move 3 to 5 balls in a single area. Okay, so it's the nonary game, yeah. Press the check button once you have moved all the balls except for the red ones, which you cannot move. The digital root of the balls in an area must match the number for that area. That is it. I still don't really get it. Whatever. Like they said, practice makes perfect. Let's give it a shot. What do you mean practice makes perfect? Hey, let's see you solve the next one. Then you can make fun of me. I didn't even notice they said it wrong. Can't move 9, so, let's see. For 6... Ooh, how about this, and then... Yep. Alright. So let's see. For 3, what would add up to... Alright, so 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would be 9, 16, plus 8 is 24. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is it, right? But nothing's happening. There are still 3 more indentations left empty. I imagine something will happen when they are all filled. Doesn't that seem likely? Hey, Jumei, something just showed up on the screen. This puzzle sure looks a lot like the last one. Yeah, well, there's more of those red balls you can't move. The numbers for each area are different too. Looks like it's got the same rules as the last one, though. Sure you don't want to double check that? No, I'll be fine. I get confused, I can just look at the screen over there, right? Anyway, like they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Let's give it a shot. Isn't that a picture was worth 1,000 words? Even then, why has nobody else solved the puzzle in this game outside of Lotus? Good question. Hey, shut it. But it's, I guess they just kind of, I guess it's like a gameplay thing, like you need Junpei to solve it because he's the perspective character, you know how it goes. At least I'm trying, alright? Alright, let's see, so we can't use 1 or 9. We need at least 3 people. So... Fuck. I wasn't even really thinking about that. Alright, so 1, we need it to equal 10. There we go. That's awesome, Junpei! There's only 2 left now. You can do it. There we go. Damn, this puzzle looks a lot like the last one. Yeah, we get it. Rules are the same. Every time we've done this, it'll be fine. So this, if you can't think of anything clever, please don't strain yourself. You might hurt something. Oh, shut up! Give me a break, alright? Think of something. Just complete the puzzle, dude. 7 and 7. Okay. So... I mean, if we get one of them, we'll get the other. Let's see, so... We need 25, so 1, 2... No, not 25, we need 16. We can't use 1. So 8, 6, 2, 4, 5, 7. Excellent work, Junpei. You've only got 1 left. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. No, you can't. What happens when... Let's see what happens when I put the emblem of the coffin into this indentation. This is the 4th one. This puzzle looks a lot like the last couple. Yeah, we know. Last one. Got it. Once we solve this puzzle, I'm sure something will happen. Alright, I'll solve it in no time. 8 and 9. Simple. Just... Let's see. So 18 and then 17. I said with a posed look. We can't use 6 either. Huh. So... What if there's like a secret 0 ball? Probably not, but okay. Do we even have enough to... Huh. Yeah, I don't think we even have enough to actually... Damn, I just don't get this at all. What's that displayed on the screen? Maybe I should read it again. Give me the ball puzzle instructions for it. And what area will be selected? Da 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 da. I got it. 3 to 5 balls into a single area. Oh, maybe I only need to fill 1 area. I got it. Can I do the thing? I understand what the puzzle is. I'm asking, can I do the puzzle? There. Okay. So I have all 5 of them. Alright, 6, 11, 18, 26, so... There we go. Huh? Where did that noise come from? Underneath the keyboard.
Way to go, Junpei. You answered all the questions.
Damn, Junpei, good job! Hey, did you hear something just now? Yes, I heard that as well. From the bottom left corner of the desk, I believe.
A picture.
Here we go. Junpei gives me Makoto vibes. Like, everyone knows the answer, but playing stupid as shit, and nearly everyone gets killed for it. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, they're just like, alright, but what does this mean? And, like, Kyoko is always there being like, well, Makoto, what does it mean? And it's like, why are you asking me if you know? In the drawer was a single picture. He picked it up. It was a photograph of 4 men.
What the?
Involuntarily, Junpei's eyes shot up. He'd seen 3 of them before.
What the hell is this?
This man with a mustache on the right.
He's the dead
same
guy,
we
yeah.
Found murdered in the captain's quarters.
Which logically means the one guy we don't recognize is probably the guy who is fake Snake.
He had the Zero bracelet on his left arm.
He is not Solid Snake!
And this second man, with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the 9th man. The one with bracelet number 9. He died after he went into door 5.
Yeah,
But this guy, the one in the striped suit,
is clearly Ace.
Oh man, that's Ace.
Yeah, I guess it is.
No doubt about it.
Seven and Clover had come to peer over Junpei's shoulders.
But what does it mean? What is Ace doing in this picture? Not only Ace, the 9th man and Cap too.
Give it a little more thought, Junpei. You'll get there eventually. As Junpei looked closer, he noticed the expression on each man's face. Their smile suggested that they were close, at least to some degree.
And they look happy.
And they're on
They
this
knew each
ship.
other well. Why? How?
Think about it,
How
Junpei.
in the world are these 4 men connected?
Snake's voice broke into Junpei's thoughts.
You say Ace is in that picture?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken recently though. Ace, the 9th man, and Cap all look about 10 years younger.
Uh-huh.
Ah, so the 9th man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture? I'm afraid I can't see.
I'm
it.
aware.
No, there's one more guy. He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart, but a little cold. He's the only one I don't recognize.
Snake knit his eyebrows.
What's the date of the photograph?
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the back?
The back?
You can flip these things over?
Yes, the reverse. The other side.
Junpei flipped the picture over.
Huh.
There it was. Yep. To be precise, it wasn't a date, but it was certainly significant. He read it out loud so that Snake would not be left in the dark.
Praying for the success of the Nonary project with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashido.
Nonary Project. Nijisaki, Kobuta, Musashido. Junpei immediately flipped the picture back over.
Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonary game 9 years ago.
Since Hongo wasn't mentioned, Junpei figured that it could only mean he'd written the words in the back himself.
That means Ace, the 9th man, and Cap were all responsible for making it happen. But I feel like I should be more shocked about this. It's almost as if that's just how things were always supposed to be.
That their true identities did not come as a surprise was what Junpei found most surprising.
Why? Why am I not surprised?
Because you already know.
Ace was the one in charge of the Nonary project. But and why? Why am I so calm? It's like I already knew.
Ah, of course. I understand now.
Junpei looked over at Snake. In his own confusion, he had missed the dark look on the other man's face.
Ace was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, so he
was
did
the
know
one
him.
who invented the game 9 years ago. He was Gentaro Hongo.
Ace is Hongo?
Even as he asked, Junpei felt as though he'd already known. Almost as if someone had whispered into his head that yes, of course Ace was Hongo.
I had my suspicions from the beginning. Their voices were similar. Too similar to be a coincidence. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure though. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't ask him. Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you.
And Santa did tell us
Zero
so.
made it quite clear what would have happened if I did.
And yet Santa told us himself, so...
Gosh, I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was Hongo.
Oh, yes. I suppose you wouldn't have.
Because you were on the boat.
9 years ago, you were in.
No, she was in the
Q
building,
with
he was in the boat, right.
But Hongo was in the Gigantic with us.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo looked like.
That's what you just said, yeah.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
We were told you would blow
I
up.
mean, I'm your sister, right? You could have told me.
I'm sorry. I apologize for keeping this from you. But if I'd told you, Clover, would have told everyone else.
And you would have blown up.
And if you did, then I would have been forced to tell them about what happened 9 years ago. I had to prevent that.
Right. Clover and Snake's conversation wasn't of particular interest to Junpei. He still couldn't make sense out of his strange feelings of knowledge. He was trying to organize his thoughts when he heard Seven's voice.
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture for a sec?
Sure.
So you can see and know that they were the suspects you were investigating. He had no reason to say no, so Junpei handed the picture over. Seven stared at the picture and began to mutter the 4 names of the project's leaders over and over to himself.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
His brow was furrowed and his face was flushed.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
He chanted their names to himself, pacing back and forth across the floor.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro.
Yeah? Seven shouldn't have known their names. After all, he hadn't been there when Junpei and Snake had spoken of them in the library. But as Junpei watched him pace, it was clear that he did know them.
Hey, Seven, do you...
Shut it! Just be quiet.
His eyes were red, and Junpei could see sweat beginning to bead on his forehead.
I'm this close to remembering. This close.
He was sweating heavily now, but his lips were dry.
Hongo, Kubota, Nijisaki, Musashiro. Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Nonary Project.
Nanary Project. Then he stopped. Seven set down the picture and looked at the red light near his feet. His eyes narrowed. Then suddenly his eyes went wide and he shot up straight.
Shit.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit, this is nuts.
What's nuts?
Elaborate?
I remember
Remember what?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah, I remember all of it. My memory's back.
Okay, good.
I remember
Elaborate.
what happened before I got snatched.
Seven's voice was filled with excitement.
What?
Shock and excitement had frozen Junpei in place along with Snake and Clover.
Let me tell you what happened.
Seven hastily drew a shaking hand across his mouth and began to speak.
Like Snake said, Ace is Hongo from the right. The other 3 are Musashiro, Nijisaki, and Kubota. Musashiro was the man with the cash.
Yeah.
Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man.
Yep.
And Kubota developed the actual technical details of the experiments.
And they all had wine. Realization began to dawn on Junpei along with a pressing
How do you
question.
know all this?
Because he was a
Come on,
cop.
I told you, I finally got my memory back.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you forgot it.
Seven rubbed the scar on his chin.
You really want to know?
Of course.
Me too.
Snake was the only one who didn't voice any sort of agreement. He looked at Junpei as if he was simply waiting to see where Seven's sudden recovery might take them.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you everything.
Well, we don't have 3 days.
We don't even have an hour.
Just give us the short version, alright?
Short version, huh?
Short version, huh? The big man pulled off his hat and scratched at his head. He made a face and put his hat back on.
All right, fine. I'll give it a shot. No promises, though.
Junpei and Clover nodded earnestly.
I'm a detective.
Yep.
It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me a lone wolf type. I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what you're told. That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead brought me to the wharf. It was 9 years ago. The wharf had been cold as fuck, and I could barely see squat. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings, all of them children. It all had one thing in common. A history of visits to one particular hospital. A hospital under the management of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Okay.
My investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been involved in the kidnappings. After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from someone inside Cradle. My source told me this.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Okay.
So I headed to the wharf.
So also, who was his source?
Shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement there.
And how did his face get so scratched up?
Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags. The bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. They were human beings in those bags.
Those were people bags.
came out of hiding with my gun already in my hand.
Don't move.
I felt metal touch the back of my head.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. It'd be easy to get away with it, too.
Who would look for a dead body in the ocean?
Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one will find you for a week.
At least a week. Yeah, that's...
Want? The fish here would love a meal.
He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the ground.
We already know most of this at this point. He was knocked out, taken to the boat. He was able to escape through vents. And
That was
then...
my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that. I woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed, a dirty sink, a toilet with no privacy.
Yep.
I'd seen it countless times as a cop.
It's a cell.
I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but...
Didn't open. And he escaped through a vent that was way too small for him.
It won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down. Huh.
Huh.
I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long.
I'm somewhat tempted to just skip through this to get to the part we don't know about, because we've already been on the path that
Then,
reveals all
I
this.
heard the voice was far, but it was pretty high.
Yep.
Huh? No. Where? I pressed my...
Not the door, it's the vent. Yep.
Left. I hauled it.
To recap what happened. Basically, Seven recovered his memory. He's telling us now about all the stuff that happened. But we already know about this because we went through the other ending where he told us about it.
Tonight,
So,
a ship is set to take.
yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It didn't matter. I checked out the metal. I stuck my finger. And then...
He's getting through the grate. He ripped it off the wall.
I finally got the damn sweat was dripping down my... First,
We're almost
I went
at
crawling like a worm and
the point where we're at something new.
A massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal door had just been slammed shut. Then there was a voice.
Oh, fuck. The incinerator also got... Huh.
What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with incinerator is bad news.
Well, yeah,
Almost
like...
as if that was a cue. I heard a mess of young-sounding voices. A bunch of them were straight up screaming in terror.
Oh, God.
And all the sounds together made a howl. that
We know
made
most of the
air
kids survived, so it's not
straight
like...
up. Damn it. What the hell is going on here? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant racket, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids
Then
were
he
screaming
met
on
up
the
with
other
the
side.
kids and I guess helped them leave?
I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is this place?
Yep, there they
I
are.
couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome on top. There had to be about 9 walls, all the same size. Up in the ceiling was an upside-down funnel, almost like a chimney. I looked down. There they were. The kids
Bunch
I'd
of
been
ki- all right.
searching for.
I'm gonna guess this one's Snake and this one's Seven. And I'm guessing... Well, actually, or I'm not... This one's Snake, this one's Santa, maybe? But if that's Santa, then this wouldn't be Akane. I'm guessing this is Akane, because it looked similar to the way she looked before.
They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent. For the moment, from surprise and fear. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Probably both, actually. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shitless. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kids. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood
Yep,
there,
that's
frozen.
what you want to tell them, I
Well,
guess.
Except one. He was a boy.
And
slightly
it's
older than
Santa.
the others, in a private school uniform.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. They look like they relaxed some the second I
Okay,
got
so in
the
other
words
words, Santa and June aren't related, so he's not Aoi, he's just someone else.
How are you gonna help us?
out. Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door over there.
He kind of cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he changed his mind.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned to death.
Burned to death.
Burned to death.
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up soon. So...
Why is the way out through an incinerator? Let's ask ourselves that question.
The voice spoke again.
How the fuck is a cinder block of a human able to fit through the first vent? Amazing question. I have no idea.
Incineration will begin in
Maybe he slicked himself up with sweat? I don't know.
15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. No way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to reach. What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there. I'm gonna be right back.
What?
He's gonna get a bed sheet, isn't he?
Where is he going? Are you just gonna leave us here?
They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I tried to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as I could, his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get
Just
back
like
to my
crawl
cell.
there like one of them, like, you know the Mario things, like the wigglers? Like you just kind of rush around like
Still
that?
no way out of there, but I had a plan.
Like a little snake or lizard
Something
thing?
from the room. When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator.
Was it the bed sheet? Are you gonna make a rope out of it?
Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into
Yep.
strips and tied them together to make a rope. It was sloppy, but it got the job done. All right, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
Right.
Huh. Wait a sec. Something wrong. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them.
Why not?
Just pull them up and they can explain later.
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door.
He was in the middle of explaining when...
Yeah, the Wiggler's centipede, that's it.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, just
Well,
hurry
shut
up.
it, from the voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, all right? Just get us out of here.
Right! I grabbed onto the rope.
Okay, so I'm guessing Santa, Snake, Nona, Akane.
First one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red necktie. A boy in a jacket came after her. He said he'd climb up on his own. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when he was almost to me, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face was staring in.
Ah,
What's going on here?
and it's Ace.
Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking kids?
The door opened, and a man stepped in looking half mad with fury. I recognized his face. I saw him many times in photos during my
So
investigation.
the last girl was the one to burn? It doesn't seem like anyone's left in the
The
room.
man's name
Gentaro Hondo.
was Gintaro Hongo,
Hongo.
the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. It was like he was an animal. He lunged for the rope.
Why does he want the kids to burn to death?
Hurry!
I know.
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little shit!
15 feet. 10. The second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the duct behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face, and he was really a terrifying devil.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I think Ace wanted the kids to be in the incinerator for some reason,
Furious Hongo
and...
yelling at me from the floor.
Huh?
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you compromise this experiment!
How dare you keep these children from being burned to death?
What experiment?
Yeah, I'll give Ace one thing. His fashion game was kind of on point. It's a pretty cool suit.
1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the hell are you doing? Hurry up!
The boy in the uniform was trying to get my attention. I may have thrown a salute in a raging asshole's face before I closed the door behind me. No point to going back to the cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down.
Okay.
I nodded and took turns sliding down it.
And it leads back to the incinerator. It was a terrible idea.
The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door. But the one on the right was familiar.
It was the incinerator.
Black and yellow stripes. And a device next to it on the wall. Plate on it read, Incinerator.
Incinerator? I barely know her.
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
Ace is good looking with a brain of an evil bat. Yeah, he's fucking awful.
Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looks like it's been shut off, though.
Wait, what? If he's still in there...
Yeah, that's not good.
Is it bad? Fuck him.
That meant we better. We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door. Hurry!
Oh no, he's gonna open the door. That's the problem.
The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral staircase. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. Up and up and up. My feet pounded the steps. Our arms pumping fast. Round, round, round. The devil was on the tail. The stairway kept going. We passed a couple of landings from the boy in the uniform.
I think this is before Snake lost his ability to see. Or...
Something's up. Akane's not catching up to us.
Akane?
My kid's sister. The girl with the
Oh,
red
so they
necktie.
are both on the boat. Wait, wasn't the point that the siblings are in separate places?
Akane. That's strange. I didn't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
If Akane really was his sister, I feel like she would have recognized him.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too, and so did the other two kids.
Did the fire splash out and cause an even bigger fire? Maybe.
When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
Why would she stop to rest in a room we were, like, walking by?
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look for her downstairs.
He turned to go.
Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I said wait!
I don't think the kid even heard me. Fuck! I spun around to the boy in the jacket, the girl with the ponytail.
I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? Got it?
The girl nodded and ran up the stairs.
I'm going with you.
And then Snake also went there, huh?
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs.
So that girl's now going alone.
Ran all the way to the bottom.
Snake already has his eyes closed, so he probably got in the accident while really young. That's true, it might be.
God damn it, where the hell did she go?
I could tell the kid was frustrated.
I'm guessing Gintaro, Hongo, whichever one it is, took her.
We heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the incinerator. We rushed in after him.
And it's gonna
I couldn't
be...
for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That
Yep.
bastard Hongo had Akane by the arm.
How did he
Was
get her?
forcing into the incinerator.
Come on, goddammit, move!
No, I don't want to. Let me go, please. Let go of me.
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. She wasn't gonna win.
Akane!
My brother roared with anger and charged toward Hongo.
Help me.
Yeah, this is pretty fucked.
You're too late, idiot!
You're taunting them?
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her, still fighting, into the incinerator.
And her number is 5, interestingly enough.
Before we could even blink, Hongo had leapt through the door after her. We saw him land inside. And then, the door slammed shut.
Why would he go in there with her?
Ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open. But
Fuck! It's no use! The goddamn thing won't move an inch!
So basically, the only one in this, like, team who doesn't have anything to do with the Nanori game is Junpei. Which, again, begs the question, why was he there?
Slamming his fist against the door. was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded on it.
What about Ace burning her? Yeah, but she's also still alive, so what happened here?
Akane! Akane!
Because based on this, it doesn't seem like they have any concrete proof that she actually died.
You came back!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror in it.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here.
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door.
What?
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 8.
Why did the incinerator start back up? What was the point of
Please
that?
evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
You fucking kidding me? It's the same damn thing.
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
So basically, we need to all.
Just hang on, all
I guess we
right?
can't go back
We're
into the
gonna
vent.
figure out a way to save you.
It
So
would seem like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was right then.
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
Please help me! I'm really scared.
yeah, this is pretty fucked.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
It's gonna be all right. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise.
It
Well,
was torture listening to her sobbing.
we need to figure something out.
Her brother was
I realize
not
this is
crying
past
himself.
tense, but you know.
He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were white.
Why wouldn't the incinerator shut down completely until she was out? I don't think it detects anybody. I think it just activates. It was silent. All I could hear was the creaking of the boat as it shifted in the water. They waited. And waited. But Seven didn't continue.
What happened then?
Junpei couldn't wait any longer. He had to know. Seven looked at the floor.
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Then...
Yeah. Shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this, I almost wish I hadn't remembered.
Seven shook his head. There was something Junpei had to know.
Hey, are you sure?
Huh?
Look, I don't want to ask this either, but there's something I don't get. So if you could just tell me, did that girl, Akane, really...
Seven stared straight ahead at nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. After a while, the countdown ended, and we heard something... burning. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up anymore. A few minutes passed.
This would be... Well, it's like, we know Akane survived. Emergency Incineration Command was because it detected him. Maybe,
door
that's
opened.
true. They also could have just burned a fake body.
The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet running in. We followed, too numb to speak. The air in the incinerator was hot.
Well, yeah, it's an incinerator.
Every breath made my lungs feel like they were on fire. It was like standing on hot asphalt. The air was wavering, and in the middle of the room, there it lay. The kid's legs were shaking so bad, I don't know how he managed to walk. I couldn't see his face, but his body somehow looked empty. Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Yeah, that's pretty fucked. But we know Akane's alive. Or at the very least, another one? I don't know. Was she cloned? Junpei felt a cold lump form in the pit of his stomach. A feeling of sickening anticipation washed over him. He could feel his body shivering. He desperately did not want to know the answer he feared he knew already, but he had to ask. He had to know for sure.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What's that?
The girl, Akane. What was her last name?
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay? Please?
Seven looked at Junpei curiously and ran his tongue quickly over his dry lips.
Kurashiki.
There it
His
is.
name was Akane Kurashiki.
And that would be June. Something inside of Junpei stopped. Well, we know she's not a ghost. What are you freaking out about? He had no more words left. He had no more Junpei left. He was just a shell of flesh and bone. Seven turned to Snake.
You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you, wasn't it?
If she somehow managed to live, then that would explain why she has so many layers and a long oversized coat to hide the burn marks. That could be it. I guess she could have had another twin that was named the same thing, but that feels a little...
Yes, it was.
I don't know, we'll see.
You are correct, Detective.
Junpei's mind was blank, withdrawn from the world. Somewhere far away, he could hear Seven and Snake talking.
Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years ago.
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! You really think I'm working with Zero?
They didn't need to threaten Clover because she already didn't know
I
it.
told you before, you idiot! I was in Nevada, in Building Q. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the boat, but I didn't know it was you.
Her surprise seemed to be genuine. Seven regarded Clover for a moment and rubbed his chin thoughtfully.
Well, I guess I believe you.
Clover nodded.
Alright, let me ask you another question.
He stuck his hands into his pockets and took a few steps. Then he stopped and turned to face them again.
Santa's real name is Aoi Kurashiki. He's
Okay.
Akane's brother. You know that?
Didn't know that, but we do know who Akane is.
No,
or
I
June,
didn't.
rather.
Did you?
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki was her brother, but I didn't know he was Santa. At least not from the beginning. 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is entirely different now. I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that connection. As such, I had no reason to think Santa was Aoi.
And yet none of them asked who June
When
was.
did you figure it out?
Why is
Clover
Junpei
told me
freaking out about
Santa
that?
might have been one of the subjects of the initial experiment. It was only a short while ago, while we were leaving the library. When she told me that, I had a feeling.
Santa is Aoi? Akane Kurashiki, June's brother?
That spark caught flame in Junpei's leaden mind, and the fog began to clear. Just realized how Seven has such a chiseled jawline. Yeah, he's got a very strong, build. Like an engine beginning to turn, images and thoughts began to coalesce in his mind. Coming faster and faster, forming bigger images, bigger thoughts. Junpei blinked. He was back.
There's still a lot we don't know. I mean, like a lot. But there is one thing I think we can say we know.
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to look like Snake.
Okay, so he's making that connection.
Come on, man, what kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that out already?
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Cut me some slack.
But logically, that does make sense.
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense then, don't they? Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too.
They were all killed by Ace.
So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, and the body in the shower room was Nijisaki's, that means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of the Nonary Project. Kubota, the person who conducted the actual experiments. Nijisaki, Hongo's assistant.
If Santa and June were siblings, then that may explain why he took her hostage, so they could escape together since they were still alive somehow. It could, unless Santa doesn't even realize that she's actually who she is.
Musashido, the man who financed the project.
You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero. He's getting
Interesting
revenge for
idea,
the death of
but
his
then why are
sister.
we all here? Because Ace and, what's-his-fuck were a part of the Kubota, were a part of the game, but then there are also 7 other people who have nothing really to do with this.
That's why he killed them.
Unless we had some kind of weird connection to it.
No, I don't think Santa actually murdered anyone.
In fact, Junpei didn't think, he knew. He couldn't explain why or how, but he had no doubt that Santa had killed no one. Perhaps the madness of the last several hours was finally driving him insane, but Junpei had ceased to be surprised at his sudden knowledge and had even begun to accept it.
If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be, is it?
Ace.
I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Snake, Clover, and Seven all nodded.
The next target will be Gentaro Hongo.
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words,
Ace.
Ace.
Yep. If Santa's Zero, then Ace and Santa should have already pre-established hatred for each other. They should, and that would explain why Santa's trying to kill everyone. But what Junpei just said about Santa not having killed anyone is interesting. There was a moment of silence.
What?
And then the room shook. From far away, they heard the sudden rush of water.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, we need to get out of here immediately.
It must be 6 a.m. Our time is up.
Shit!
Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
There's a key. Card. In the drawer that held the picture was a key card. Junpei grabbed it.
I'm betting this sucker opens the exit. Come on, let's go.
The material's been added to the file screen. Yep. Got the key card. Excellent. Leave. Alright, let's just swipe this card.
Junpei, look! It's unlocked!
Yeah, now we can go back to the library. Hurry up, Junpei. We don't have the time. Let's go. Yeah, click on the door. Yep.
You found it! Nova Simo, you...
Yep. Okay, hold on. Flow-wise, we are not close at all to the end. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save right now. Probably gonna wrap it up next time. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airhead, your favorite VTuber Android. My next stream is sometime this week. Keep an eye out for it on my schedule tomorrow. Either way, hope you all enjoyed the stream. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And goodbye for now.